Ella.
The question, what is the significance in notion of house? So home is just security, stability.
Okay.
Many rooms, many forms of satisfying security. A curiosity brings a question, what is it for me in it?
Okay.
Walking, checking, is it interesting? It's interesting. But searching for the stability.
Searching for stability. Excellent. Okay, she's still writing. So Carolyn?
Well, I took it, the whole picture as the psychic landscape, and that she had left the familiar, which comes from family.
Sure.
She left the familiar, that she was seeing different aspects of herself, many of which she would not previously known. So she was kind of surprised and intrigued, like, oh, that room. Oh, wait, what that? And then, my interpretation, how I would do it, and then, because she couldn't find her way home, I'm placing my interpretation, because she couldn't find her way home to the familiar, what was going to be her home in the future, which was not going to be the familiar, but going to be very interesting, pretty amazing.
So she's going towards her.
Her maybe we call the true home, not the familiar.
Okay, interesting.
Which is funny, because I'm feeling some sort of an emotional reaction as you're saying those things, so I'm not sure exactly what that's attached to, but there might be some, there's something to that, I would think, so.
Interesting. Natasha?
Mine is short. The house represents her inner world and her world, and maybe she's reassessing her roles. So different rooms as different roles. So she's walking into each room and kind of rethinking, and I came up with that.
Good. Excellent. Aliana?
Well, Anna, when you started coming to Rays of Healing, which was several years ago, well, in fact, you were the one who told me about Rays here, and Anna's the person who told me about you, Alice, and you, Wanda. That was the beginning of your spiritual journey. So your spiritual journey is going through these rooms, and it's successive. So you are by no means confined to being in the box. You left that box a long time ago, and no one box confines you anymore. One thing leads to another, and the strongest feeling or impression that I have about you is your openness. You're always willing to go into the next room. And that's a very important stage. And as for feeling that you need to get back to family, family is chilled out. They'll wait. They're not going in. They're okay.
They're a little cranky.
So, okay. Gina? That's great. Thank you.
For me, it felt like trying to choose what's coming next and a need for clarity. Just trying on, like going through the different rooms was trying on different dreams, different realities, and exploring the different paths and just trying to choose what comes next. But it also came to me that if you don't have a destination, then kind of any road will take you there, kind of that idea too. So that came up as well.
Interesting. Excellent. Paul?
I'm going to base this on my own dreams of houses. And when I dream of a house, it's my spiritual standing. So it's a big house, I'm doing great. I once had a dream, this whole mountain range was my house inside. It was enormous. But I've also had dreams where the house was leaking and the wood was rotting. So I consider it your spiritual standing, and the different rooms are your variations. Channeling over here, healing over here, whatever area you were interested in. And I would encourage you to keep track of the houses to see if that's the case, if they change with your dreams.
Excellent. And if you guys would tear off what you wrote down for Anna, I think it'd be helpful just to hear everybody's interpretation. And is it Barb? Heather. Heather.
The house in different rooms, new chapters of life that are evolving. You see kind of the same types of things. I had that as she was in a state of change right now, kind of looking at all these different pieces of what home really means to you, and that is translated maybe literally, but also like where you're most home and your sense of purpose, and kind of evaluating what works for you and what doesn't work, and what you like and what you don't like, and then kind of bringing that back into the real world. So the only thing that I did have as somewhat of a guidance to you is that also to remember to ground yourself in what you take from what you like and what you don't like, and then in moving forward. So you're not sort of wandering, but actually grounding yourself in what you like and what you don't. Yeah.
Super, great. Wanda?
Well, I always find that dreams can be interpreted from more than one level of consciousness. And so one interpretation would be the one of your soul, and another would be the one that seems to have to do with whatever you fear or your everyday life. So the way you think, the way you act every day. So I got the house is your soul. You're exploring the various facets of your soul. You have yet to fully integrate the experience of your soul with the life you are living. When you can do that, you will feel at home, soul, mind, body, and life. And what you're doing every time you're dreaming it is an attempt to bring all of that together, to know all of it and make it home, bring it into your everyday experience and be at home with both parts of yourself. The other part I got was more from a mental perspective, and that is you're worried about your home situation and wanting a life that has a lot more security in it. You want to secure home.
Excellent. Bill?
I mean, you are walking into various aspects of yourself, investigating, curious as to who I truly am or you truly are. You have to look at all aspects of yourself before you can go home, and your spiritual family is waiting for you patiently.
Sharon?
I wrote trying different things / gifts, but looking for the one that feels right. And so far not been able to find the one that feels right.
Good. Hope? All right. Bonnie?
Here I said, you're not
A
ready.
little louder.
You're not ready to settle down. Your family's waiting, but you are holding back. Stability is missing.
Okay. Rosanna?
Not sure what the future holds. Looking for the ways to make the family happy and safe.
Okay, and mine was your rooms equal goals that are not met. It says, do you know what they are? Define them clearly to achieve them. Believe you can achieve them. That's what I got. So, anyway, I think we have probably maybe time for one more if anybody has another one. If not, we'll go into our first circle. Do you have one? Natasha? Okay. And let's give Anna, let's pass our dreams out to Anna so that she can,
More for Anna.
Yeah, there's so much spiritual help here that I feel there's validity in everything everybody said. You know, because they have a little aspect of probably everything you're experiencing.
I think the interesting thing for me is that, most of the time, and I'm blessed to have Sharon at work, to be able to talk about spiritual things with and stuff, and Ramon, but anytime I do have her or Ramon as a sounding board or anyone else, and then when I have an emotional reaction to something, then that really is very helpful then I wouldn't really have that indicator very often. So it's nice for me to hear everyone else's responses, and I might tear up, but that just for me is an indicator that so what, you know, is on the, that's my indicator that something is there's meaning in that.
Striking home for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my signal.
Yeah, yeah.
So most of my friends already know that I cry.
Yeah,
That's my.
totally understandable. Totally. Okay. Natasha, do you want to give us your dream?
Yes.
But speak nice and loud.
Okay, there are 4 scenes. And this is a recurring dream in terms of the place where I find myself. It's in my father's hometown. He passed away like 20 years ago.
Okay.
And it's a house where he loved going.
It's a house where he what?
Loved going.
Loved going. Okay.
So I'm there, and I brought like a field trip of kids. I don't know how and what, but I brought kids, and that's the destination for a field trip. And it's a storm, and they're afraid that it's tornado, but in Serbia, I mean in Europe, there are no tornadoes. So I tell them it's not tornado and show tornado far away how it looks. So we see it now far away, but I say this is just a storm, and I see kind of like, you know, how the storm is, almost like ashes, and it's dark. That's one scene. And then next scene, parents complained to me that my alternative doctor, who is now, for some reason, he was in charge of bringing kids from the preschool, they're that age, to the house. He was late, and kids knew how to get to the house, but because he was late, they were all stressed out and walking through the storm to the house. So that could have been prevented had he not been late. Now, next scene. I look through the windows, and a car is coming, and then I'm afraid who that might be. I mean, all the kids are there. I don't know where the parents are now, but so just that fear that someone is coming, and I don't know who that is. But then I realize it's people whom I know. I don't know them in reality. I just in the dream I realize that I know them and we're safe. And the last scene, everything is over. The storm has passed, and all the parents and everyone around me is so happy and motivated to help me renovate the house. And it's not from the storm, it's just from the years of no one going there, and it's kind of all in reality too. So they're really happy to help me renovate, and they're investing in it, and I'm happy because I didn't even expect that to happen. And so that's the end of the dream.
And you've had this multiple times?
A little different, but the same place.
Same place. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what we can get on this.
Most of the times it's like some kind of cleaning of the house.
Some kind of what?
Cleaning of the house.
Cleaning, okay.
So and the kids came to the house the first time, right?
No, kids are for
First.
the first time in this dream.
Okay.
So what's new is the kids. Everything else has variations, but it's the same kind of message.
Are they real? Do you have children?
No.
Oh.
So the children walk through the storm to the house?
But I don't see that. Parents complain to me.
I'm sorry?
Parents complain to me.
Their parents.
Their parents, yes, that kids had to walk through the storm.
So I asked you this one more time, but what in scene 1 exactly, how did it start?
So I'm in the house and the kids are there, and there's this storm, and they think it's tornado, they're afraid, and I'm saying it's not tornado, we don't have tornadoes.
Got it.
So I'm kind of like helping them calm down.